is an important way for us to collaborate in a distributed environment. So one of the first practices that I want to impart on you is this idea of an SVG: seating, visiting, and gatherings. The idea that even though we are remote, and this might not be possible as we speak because of some of the concerns with COVID, but when you are able to get together with your team, we're talking long term. I want to impart some knowledge that you can use in the years to come and how to make these teams work well together. Having the teams come together at first so that they can form as a team face to face, physically, goes a long way. It builds that social capital. It builds that understanding. And then they can go back to their environments and work remotely more effectively. And over a period of time, these individuals can visit each other, maybe something along the lines of twice a year, just to put a number out there. And then they go back to remote, and then they have a gathering where the team gets together again, maybe as much as once a year. You get the idea, right? Always continuing to get the teams together so that they can build that social capital that goes a long way. In my research, we found that 17% of the very effective collaborators met physically as periodic as once a year. 22% of effective, not very effective, but effective collaborators never met. And 40% of the ineffective collaborators never met at all. Right? So in other words, there was a direct correlation between team members that meet face-to-face physically and their ability or inability, in this case, to collaborate well while they were remote. Okay. So you want to try to make as much room as possible for in-person interaction and make that a cadence event. Make that as frequent as possible based on those, on visitation, on seating, on visiting, and on gathering, what we call the SVG. Yeah. By the way, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'd love to interact as well via chat. I know that it's a large group and there might be some background noise as well, but if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'll continue to scan. Let's see, Sam says face-to-face can be achieved through video conferencing too, right? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I will tell you that if you are going to communicate remotely, the most effective way is to turn on video because it builds trust significantly. So yes, that is very true. However, physical getting together takes us a step further. The trust increases significantly higher, the social capital. The idea that we could have casual conversations while we grab a snack by the water cooler does go a long way as well in building that trust and that collaboration that carries into remote. So you still want to get teams physically together if possible, if possible. If you can't, here's a case study of what I call the VCR, the virtual co-location room. The VCR is a technique. I mentioned I wanted to impart some techniques to help you collaborate more. This is a technique where individuals are located in an office space where they are co-located, and we have individuals that are remote. Now we need to get a hybrid team to work well together. Well, one of the ways for us to do that is to create a permanent virtual room, permanent Zoom room, if you're using Zoom, where team members can dial in at any time. You don't need to build it up or schedule it. It's just always on. And remote members can join the team and they come in the big screen into the room where the teams are gathered, where the pods are. and they're able to interact and walk in and out of there as much as possible. I've implemented this in several organizations, and the results are positive as far as the improvement in the team's productivity over a period of time when they have this permanent room that individuals can come in and out of. It almost acts as a virtual water cooler sometimes, where team members just come in and there's a chat going on. If I need to pull someone because we got to collaborate together, I can say, hey, Andrew, I have a question about this particular product backlog item. Is it okay if we go into a breakout room and Andrew and I can work one-on-one, and then we come back? It takes out the burden of having to schedule meetings, having to have that interaction in a more regular basis. That tends to be a problem in a remote setting.